Over the last decade, I, like many of you, have met people from all walks of life. I've seen that experiences such as homelessness, addiction, and poor mental health are often grounded in a difficult childhood.
King Charles was left speechless when Princess Anne shared a shocking message from the late Queen.
The ability to have somebody who is kind of epitomizes what you think your country stands for.
The royal family has faced countless trials, but this moment truly stands out. In a private conversation, Princess Anne revealed a deeply personal message from the Queen about Princess Catherine.
My mother was the Queen for a very long time. And although you kind of know that this might happen, you don't really think about it very much.
This unexpected revelation sheds light on the Queen's quiet wisdom and how it continues to guide the family, even after her passing. So what exactly did Princess Anne say about Catherine? And why did it have such a profound impact on King Charles?
The monarchy provides, with the Constitution, a degree of long-term stability that is actually quite hard to come by any other way.
Join us as we dive into all the details of this shocking revelation. The Queen's quiet choice. In the royal family, traditions and spoken rules are always respected. Power is passed down by blood, and public duty comes before personal opinion. But now, something different has come up. Princess Anne has revealed a private message that Queen Elizabeth gave her shortly before she passed away. It wasn't a public statement, and it wasn't written down. There was no official letter, but Anne remembered every word clearly. According to her, the Queen didn't place all her hopes on King Charles or even on Prince William. Instead, she believed that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, might be the key to holding the monarchy together in the future. The Queen had watched Catherine for many years and saw her more than just someone who married into the royal family. She saw someone calm, steady, and strong. Someone who didn't push for attention, but who had the power to lead quietly. So what did the Queen see in Catherine that made her more suitable than Charles or William? Keep watching to find out. Princess Anne had always been close to her mother, the late Queen Elizabeth, and according to her, the Queen saw the world changing very quickly. The monarchy, which was once untouchable, now faces strong criticism, online pressure, and people asking more questions than ever before. So it made sense that the Queen was thinking beyond titles and traditions. She wasn't only looking at who would wear the crown next, she was looking at who could actually carry the weight of it all. And this is where Princess Catherine came in. Catherine is one who has never been loud or dramatic, and she's not the kind of person who demands the spotlight. But still, she's always present, always calm, and always respectful. The Queen noticed that. Even when times were tough, Catherine stayed focused. She didn't speak out of turn. She didn't chase headlines. Instead, she followed her duties with a quiet strength. According to Princess Anne, this was a message left by the Queen herself. They weren't in a palace meeting. It wasn't part of an official gathering. It was just the two of them, talking like mother and daughter. And that's what makes this message so special. The Queen didn't say these things to gain attention. She didn't need to prove anything. She simply wanted to pass her thoughts to someone she trusted deeply. And she trusted Anne to carry her message. Not to the world, but to the family. According to Anne, she waited this long to speak because she needed to be sure it was the right time. She didn't want the message to be misunderstood or turned into gossip. She wanted people to hear it when it truly mattered. Now the royal family is facing new pressure. There are questions about leadership, about how to connect with the public, and about how to stay relevant in today's world. And right in the middle of it is Catherine, a woman who never asked for attention, but who might hold the future of the crown in her hands. Many people were surprised when they heard Anne's words. Even King Charles, who has carried the weight of the crown for years, was said to be speechless after hearing them. Not because he disagreed, but maybe there could be other reasons. Maybe deep down he had seen the same strength in Catherine that the Queen had seen. William, too, plays an important role. He is next in line, and everyone knows he is being prepared for the throne. But even he has spoken highly of Catherine's calm nature and ability to connect with people. And maybe that's what the Queen was thinking about. Not who had the right title, but who had the right heart. In recent years, Catherine has faced both praise and criticism. Some people compare the number of royal duties she carries out to others, noting that in 2023, Princess Anne completed over 400 engagements, while Catherine completed just over 100. That difference raised eyebrows. Some critics even stated that Catherine wasn't doing enough, but people close to the royal family said otherwise. They knew Catherine's schedule was lighter on purpose, not because she was avoiding work, but because she was focusing on her children and her role at home. She was building a strong foundation, not just for herself, but for the next generation of the royal family. Furthermore, Princess Anne made it clear that her mother never saw duty as only public events or speeches. The Queen believed in quiet work, consistency, and in staying grounded. And those were the things she saw in Catherine. That's why Anne chose to speak now. Because with the world changing and the royal family being tested in new ways, the Queen's message needed to be heard, not as a command, but as a reminder. A reminder that leadership can look different. That sometimes the strongest leaders are the ones who speak the least and do the most.
The death of my beloved Philip, I have drawn great comfort from the warmth and affection of the many tributes to his life and work.
The Queen had always been careful with her words, rarely rushing to share opinions. So when she did speak, people listened. And now, even after her passing, her voice is still guiding the family. But you might be wondering why the Queen chose Catherine, and why Princess Anne is in support too. To fully understand the reason for the Queen's decision, it's best we go back into Catherine's early life and her upbringing to understand why the Queen decided that she was the right one. Stay tuned as we delve more into this. The childhood that shaped Princess Catherine. Catherine Elizabeth Middleton was born on January 9, 1982, at the Royal Berkshire Hospital in Reading. From the start, her life was shaped by a mix of tradition and hard work. She didn't grow up in a palace, but her family was still well off and connected to influential circles in British society. Her father, Michael Middleton, worked as a flight dispatcher, and her mother, Carol, had once been a flight attendant. They both worked for British Airways, which meant Catherine was born into a working family, one that carried itself with grace and ambition. Catherine's family background was also interesting in another way. On her father's side, there were deep-rooted connections to British society. Her great-grandparents, Noel and Olive Middleton, once hosted members of the royal family between the 1920s and 1940s. This gave Catherine's paternal family a certain level of social standing. Yet, on her mother's side, the story was very different. Her maternal relatives came from working-class roots, with some of them having worked as coal miners. This gave Catherine a rare balance. She was grounded, but also well prepared to move into royal circles later in life. However, when she was still a toddler, her life took a new turn. In May 1984, the Middleton family moved to Amman, Jordan. Catherine was just 2 years old, but the change exposed her to life outside of England. There, she attended an English-language nursery school. Although it was only for a couple of years, it gave her an early taste of adapting to new environments. And when they returned to Berkshire in 1986, she was 4 years old. Back home, she was enrolled in St. Andrew's School, a private institution not far from Pangbourne. Even at that age, Catherine was showing signs of independence and responsibility. After a few years at the school, she even started boarding part-time. But the turning point for the Middleton family came in 1987, when Carol, Catherine's mother, founded a business called Party Pieces. It was a mail-order company that sold party supplies and decorations. At the time, it may not have seemed like a major business venture, but it eventually became very successful. This allowed the family to enjoy a comfortable lifestyle and gave Catherine and her siblings access to good education and opportunities. It also taught her the value of building something from the ground up and how success often comes through consistency and effort. In 1995, the Middletons moved again, but this time to the village of Bucklebury. It was quiet, peaceful, and surrounded by countryside. Catherine continued her education and enrolled at Down House School. But after some time, she transferred to Marlborough College in Wiltshire, where she truly began to shine. Marlborough was a co-educational boarding school, and it was here that she showed her strength in sports. She played several sports, but field hockey was where she stood out the most. She did not only participate, she became the captain of the girls' team. It showed her leadership skills and her natural ability to work with others, both of which later became important in her royal life. During her time at Marlborough, Catherine also earned a Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award. That program is known for being tough. It involves physical challenges, volunteering, and developing new skills. And earning this award spoke a lot about her character. She wasn't afraid to challenge herself, and she was already showing signs of commitment, teamwork, and quiet determination. Around this same time, she also had to undergo a small operation on the left side of her head. Reports suggest it was to remove a lump, but she never made a big deal out of it. She went through it with grace and kept going with her life and education, showing once again that she had strength and resilience even at a young age. After completing her school education, Catherine had a choice to make. She was offered a place at the University of Edinburgh, but instead, she decided to take a gap year. During that year, she didn't relax. She chose to travel, learn, and experience new things. First, she studied at the British Institute of Florence in Italy, focusing on art and culture. Then she went all the way to Chile, where she joined the Raleigh International Program. This program involved environmental work and community support, meaning Catherine spent her time volunteering, hiking through difficult terrain, and learning about teamwork in remote areas. And just before she began university, she also worked as a deckhand at the Port of Southampton. It wasn't glamorous, but it gave her hands-on experience and showed that she didn't shy away from ordinary or tough jobs. Eventually, Catherine enrolled at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. At first, she studied psychology, but later decided to focus only on art history. She became part of the Lumsden Club, which was known for holding fundraisers and working on community projects. So, even during university, she was balancing academic work with service to others, something that became a big part of her future royal duties. However, to support herself during school, she even worked part-time as a waitress. Again, this wasn't a job she needed to impress anyone, but it showed her work ethic. Catherine never carried herself like someone who expected life to be handed to her. Instead, she quietly worked hard behind the scenes, doing what needed to be done. In 2005, she graduated with a Master of Arts degree in art history, earning second-class honors. By that time, people around her already noticed something special. She had a calm presence, a thoughtful way of listening, and a natural elegance, and none of it felt forced. It was simply who she was. Here's the most interesting part. While studying at the University of St. Andrews, Catherine's life took a pivotal turn. It was here, among the centuries-old buildings and historic courtyards of the university, that she met Prince William. The two started as close friends, bonding over their shared passion for art history. This friendship lasted for a whole year, growing stronger as they spent more time together. But it wasn't long before their connection turned into something deeper. By 2002, they, along with a few friends, decided to move in together. This was the start of their romantic relationship, Despite being in the spotlight as members of the university's social scene, they chose to keep things low-key, remaining largely out of the media's gaze. But in 2004, things took a dramatic turn when the couple was photographed together while vacationing in Switzerland. That moment was the first public confirmation of their relationship. However, what followed wasn't a seamless love story. Like many young couples, they faced their own challenges. In 2007, after several years of being in the public eye, they broke up. Catherine admitted later on that it was a tough period for her, acknowledging that, at that time, she wasn't very happy about it. But actually, it made her a stronger person. The breakup was widely discussed in the media, but rather than pulling her down, it gave Catherine an opportunity to reflect and grow. However, within a few months, they reunited, and their bond grew stronger after having weathered that difficult phase. Their relationship, though often speculated about in the press, remained private for much of the time. Catherine was frequently labeled Waity Katie by the media, a nickname that seemed to mock her perceived waiting for a proposal. Yet, her patience and grace in handling the constant media scrutiny proved her resilience. In November 2010, after years of speculation, the couple announced their engagement. As their relationship took a new and more official turn, Catherine made the decision to revert to her formal name, Catherine Middleton, in preparation for her future role in the royal family. The royal wedding, which took place on April 29, 2011, was a grand event, but it was also a deeply personal moment for the couple. It was held at Westminster Abbey and was attended by millions around the world who watched as Catherine became the Duchess of Cambridge. The ceremony was a celebration of love, tradition, and new beginnings, and for Catherine, it marked the start of her life as a member of the royal family. However, Catherine's transition into royal life was not just about adjusting to her new title. It was about embracing a whole new world of responsibility, service, and expectation. As a member of the royal family, she was expected to support various causes, represent the monarchy at events, and live her life in a way that upheld the dignity of her position. Yet, Catherine handled it with remarkable poise, staying true to herself while taking on these new roles. Over the next few years, Catherine and Prince William became a symbol of modern monarchy. Their first child, Prince George, was born on July 22, 2013, to a world that eagerly awaited every moment of his life. Their second child, Princess Charlotte, followed on May 2, 2015, and Prince Louis, their youngest son, was born on April 23, 2018.
Prince Louis, the cheekiest member of the royal family, has a knack for capturing attention wherever he goes. At just 6 years old, his playful energy and unfiltered honesty have made him a fan favorite.
Each birth was celebrated, not only because of their royal status, but also because of the warmth and love the couple shared with their growing family. But here's the most astonishing part: Princess Catherine's charitable legacy. Through all of this, Catherine remained grounded and dedicated to her family. She balanced her royal duties with being a loving wife and mother, a feat that many royal observers admired. Yet, it was her ability to remain true to her values that stood out the most. Whether it was through her charity work, her unwavering support for her children, or her commitment to Prince William, Catherine proved that the foundation of a successful royal life is built not just on tradition, but on love, family, and service to others. And as her role within the royal family grew, Catherine began to establish herself not only as a figure of grace, but also as a passionate advocate for causes she deeply cared about. Her charity work was a significant part of her journey. Reflecting her ability to balance the personal with the professional in a meaningful way. One of her most poignant charitable gestures came in 2018, when she anonymously donated 7 inches of her hair to the Little Princess Trust. The charity provides wigs to children who lose their hair during chemotherapy, a cause that resonated deeply with Catherine. It was a personal yet profoundly generous gesture, initiated by her hair designer, Joey Wheeler, who had spoken to her about the opportunity. The gesture mirrored similar acts of kindness in the public eye, such as Harry Styles' own donation of his ponytail to the same charity in 2016. This simple yet impactful act showed Catherine's understanding that sometimes the most profound contributions are those that go unseen. Her charity work was not limited to one-time donations. It was a continual thread woven through her life. Even before her marriage to Prince William, Catherine was known for her philanthropic efforts. In 2007, she curated a photography exhibition to raise funds for UNICEF.
Well, the Duchess has had a very long-standing interest in photography right back to when she was a student, and most of us have seen the photographs that she's taken of the children recently, and the Society felt it was right that we recognise that, and we see her really acting as an ambassador for photography more generally.
Marking the launch of Alistair Morrison's book, Time to Reflect. Later that year, she visited Naomi's house hospice, spending time with terminally ill children, and organizing a charity roller disco event in 2008.
As children's hospices, I've been fortunate to see at first hand the remarkable work that they do for children and young people with life-limiting conditions and their families.
Which raised £100,000 for Oxford Children's Hospital and the mental health charity Place 2B. These early efforts became the foundation of her continued involvement in charitable activities after her marriage, and when she became the Duchess of Cambridge, Catherine assumed even more significant roles within various organizations. In March 2011, just a few months after her wedding, she and Prince William set up a wedding gift fund, allowing well-wishers to donate to 26 charities they both supported.
It is a year since we've launched the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, and the reason for the centre's launch was twofold. It was to not only help improve the early childhood outcomes, but it's also about prevention.
Covering diverse areas such as the armed forces, children's welfare, and environmental conservation.
Earlier this year, we asked you 5 big questions about raising our under 5s. We wanted to hear what you think about the importance of the earliest years of our children's lives.
The foundation, initially called the Foundation of Prince William and Prince Harry, was later renamed the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales, to reflect Catherine's increasing contribution.
The challenges facing children in the UK today can often feel overwhelming. Both William and I have seen that many young people are struggling to cope with the impact of bullying, bereavement, domestic violence, family breakdown and more.
Her commitment to various causes continued to expand over the years. In 2014, Catherine took on the patronage of the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, marking a significant moment in her royal duties. Her work focused on mental health and addiction, partnering with organizations like Action on Addiction and the Forward Trust to support affected families.
And the Forward Trust for bringing us all here together this morning. I'm so pleased to be joining you to launch the Taking Action on Addiction campaign.
Also, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Catherine and Prince William donated to mental health initiatives, while she also quietly volunteered with the Royal Voluntary Service. Catherine's charity work expanded to children's palliative care, early childhood development, and supporting young people through photography, showing her deep commitment to various causes. However, through her involvement with charities, Catherine also continued her support of the military and the elderly. She became a patron of Tai Hafan, a children's hospice in Wales,
real-life families and, actually what's going on in the community, and it must be really challenging for you and the team.
Situations like that, so of course then again the emotive side comes in.
Yeah.
Well, what does my life?
and in January 2025, she joined Prince William as the joint royal patron of the Royal Marsden Hospital.
Usual. And the red that you see here is, this would have been a cloth that would have had this red border that you see. And this kind of bravura painting of the impasto here also.
Catherine's role within these organizations was never one of passive support. She consistently took an active interest in the work, ensuring that her patronages had real, tangible effects on the people they were designed to help. As Catherine continues her royal duties, she remains a steadfast advocate for the causes she believes in. Whether it's through supporting displaced people during times of crisis,
Seeing some of the activities here today with the 1851 Trust and what the kids have been doing here, it's really exciting to see different elements behind I suppose, the reason as well.
or bringing attention to critical health and well-being issues, she demonstrates an ongoing commitment to bettering the lives of others. Her dedication to charity and public service is a testament to her character, a woman who understood the responsibility of her position and used it to make a difference in the world. In reflecting on Catherine's journey, it becomes evident that her impact extends far beyond her title. She has not only embraced her role as the Duchess of Cambridge and now as the Princess of Wales, but she has also shaped a legacy of kindness, philanthropy, and compassion. Catherine's story serves as a reminder that true royalty is not just about titles and privilege, but about how one chooses to serve others. Furthermore, Catherine's life, from her university days to becoming a mother of 3, shows a woman who, though born into an ordinary family, was destined for something extraordinary. Her journey to becoming the Duchess of Cambridge was not just about a love story with a prince. It was about a young woman carving out a space for herself in a world where tradition and expectation often clash with personal desires and growth. Her life was about finding balance, staying true to her roots, and making choices that not only suited her personal growth, but also the needs of her growing family and the expectations of the royal family. Now, as Princess of Wales, Catherine continues to face new challenges and responsibilities, but her story from her early days at St. Andrews to becoming a mother and a royal figure serves as a testament to her strength, grace, and commitment. As we reflect on her early life, it's clear that Catherine Middleton was always destined for greatness, even if her journey didn't always follow a straightforward path. The decision to elevate her within the royal family wasn't simply about a love story. It was about her resilience, her ability to adapt, and her understanding of the royal responsibilities she would one day inherit. So, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the Queen made the right decision to choose Catherine? Drop it in the comments section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.